Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. For once it is probably evening because this video has come out a little later than usual. We have moved houses and it took a long time to get the fibre sorted so I could actually upload this. But enough excuses. Before I begin, congratulations to the Springboks and the rest of South Africa for winning the Rugby World Cup. You deserve it. Condolences to the English though, they had a great run too. Apart from the World Cup and the League of Legends World Championship, last weekend was also BlizzCon. So we decided to have a look at what Blizzard is doing. There's some good stuff and some not so good stuff and lots of controversy as usual. To keep our Dimension Hopper Craig busy, we have our first supersized pop. It's Orisa, the staple Overwatch character, but we'll get into that later. Let's see what Blizzard's up to. We'll try not to mention Hong Kong too much. Oops. Oh well, in for a penny, in for a pound. So Blizzard has been embroiled in a bit of a scandal. They denied a Hearthstone player their prize money and banned him from future competitions because this player used the platform to promote a political agenda, the independence of Hong Kong. I'll leave who was right up to you, but the backlash was rather extreme. Western gamers accused Blizzard of pandering to the Chinese government, which holds the keys to which games are allowed in China, of course. There are a lot of gamers in China, and Blizzard likes gamers who buy Blizzard games. Who'd have thought? I'm just trying to set a scene for you, so let's add to that. The last time Blizzard announced some big things, they messed up. They hyped up a Diablo sequel, which turned out to be a mobile game, and people were not happy. Alright, you know what they were facing. Let's look at what Blizzard did to try regain some composure. There were some big important announcements and some little ones, so let's get started with my favorite. Diablo 4 is coming. Blizzard's classic action adventure. Cinematic is really good, really well done. Good job. The gameplay gives me really God of War vibes in a 3D isometric view, of course. Not sure why, but it's probably a good thing. Next up, they announced Overwatch 2. But why? Overwatch is supposed to be a competitive PvP title. You can't just go make a second one. How long has CSGO been around? League of Legends? How about StarCraft 2? But okay, they explained this. It's more of an expansion to Overwatch. The online PvP stuff works with both games. There's just more now. Lots more. And you have to buy a new license to get to it. Can't fault them for wanting more money. Everybody wants more money, right? Our Funko Pop today will still be there in Overwatch, so we're safe. A couple of new characters there too, and some new maps, so maybe it's worth it. Next up, there is a World of Warcraft expansion. Obviously, everyone needs to keep the grind going. Shadowlands will be released next year. A whole new story and a set of quests to explore. Keeping the modern WoW going even longer, further than any other MMO has ever gone. Speaking of modern, WoW Classic is getting some upgrades, world bosses and a PvP honor system, so that's good stuff. Next up, Hearthstone is getting a new pack. No surprises there. Something more interesting and just as predictable, there's an auto chess game mode coming to Hearthstone called Hearthstone Battlegrounds. You recruit card characters, put them into the field, and they fight on their own. It's all about strategy, beating the other 7 players. If that sounds familiar, it's because it is. Dota, Auto Chess, Dota Underlords, Teamfight Tactics, and the self-titled Auto Chess. It's all good stuff. So, did Blizzard redeem themselves at this year's BlizzCon? Maybe, doesn't really matter. Millions of people will still buy their games, and people like me are still going to talk about them. So despite the hate, Blizzard is really good at what it does. Should we have a quick look at Orisa? I know you've been sitting for a while. Craig has been itching to get this one open. It's the first supersized pop we've had here, so the box is a bit different. It's big, and that's all. Moving on. Opened up. I'll give you a second. If you want your own Overwatch Pops, link in the description. Are you ready now? Don't care. I know it's different packaging. Yeah, it's just big. This pop is a whole 6 inches tall, and it has all that extra junk in the trunk. It's definitely a large one. Have I told you how large this pop is compared to the standard one? I think you get the idea of how big it is. On her front, she has a gold helmet with big green horns, and some arrow-looking eyes From there down, it's all armor. And of course there's a big gun in her right hand. Then you get to the midsection and she has a little loincloth thing, which is really weird. So shall we see what's underneath? Nothing at all. But while we're down here, you can see what Craig's been hiding from us. Orisa has 4 armored legs, almost like a centaur. This pop is the heaviest in our collection by far. Brahm's puny shield can't measure up to a 4-legged robot with a minigun. By the way, Orisa, the name, comes from the robot she was based on, the OR-15. So effectively, she's the OR-15A. Smart. A variant built by an 11-year-old girl after most of the original OR-15s were destroyed by another Overwatch hero, the villain, Doomfist. In Overwatch, you have good characters and bad ones, but they're all called heroes, which is pretty weird. Let me know what you think of Orisa, down there in the comments, over there. And you can tell me what you think of the current state of Blizzard too. Are things heating up for them, or are they just giving you an icy chill? I'll be back next week with more gaming because it's League of Legends World Championship Finals featuring the best of China against the best of Europe, so that's definitely going to be a good one. Lisa, Craig and I are going to grab some local players, maybe a local esports commentator, and see what we can make of this. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss that. Goodbye.